aka Happy Plant, who has joined us today to teach us about how to do gardening in small spaces. I would like to introduce Nibita by saying few words about her. Amidst the hustle and the bustle of city life, Nibita discovered solace and purpose through gardening. Birthing her Instagram persona, Happy Plant Girl, despite the constraints of urban living, she ingeniously transformed limited spaces into verdant sanctuary. And today, she is here to teach us more about how you can make a small apartment, even in this urban lifestyle. How can you can make your house a home? So a very great welcome to you, Nivedita. Can you tell us how this gardening journey started of yours?
Well, yes. First of all, hello everyone, and welcome to my little green oasis. So, to start about my gardening journey, let me first tell you I am not a pandemic gardener. I have been about it for quite some time. So basically, actually, I'm quite a decor enthusiast. So I like to create aesthetic spaces. So always the idea was to create a green and colorful outdoor space, and that led me to the interest of gardening. So in my initial days, all I would do is go to nursery, pick up some plants, and put it in the balcony. And once they are done, just throw it away, replace it. But I was not actually nurturing the plants. So just to put up the balcony and the beauty and all, I just started an Instagram page just like that. And when I joined Instagram uh, as an enthusiast for I would say just for balcony decoration and all, I came across a lot of accounts. And then I realized how people were doing gardening irrespective of the space they have. Whether it is small space, maybe they have a farm, it could be a big patio, but they are doing gardening and they are growing vegetables, and I was really, really inspired by it. So initially I was even scared of doing a repotting. If my plant is growing overgrowing the size of the pot, I would be really scared to repot it because I would think probably it would damage the root systems and all that. Plant might die, so probably I'll call my gardener and ask him to do the repotting. But then I thought that let me try. I should do it myself. And through a lot of experiments, success, failures, learning, and relearning, I think somewhere in between, I I became a gardener, and I'm still learning because it's a continuous process. I mean, you can never understand each and everything completely. So it's all about experimenting and learning. So yeah, that's how my journey has started.
That's really beautiful. I mean, this is something we can think about because I also live in a PG right now, and I try to make, like we were talking off camera, how my friend incorporated money plants in his room because he had some empty bottles. So I think we have something to learn from you, that we can make the most out of it, whatever we have.
Yes,
So now I would like to give the stage to you, Nibidita. Let's have a really fun session.
sure. So today, I think I'm here to to actually make you guys believe that with just about little bit of containers, good soil, and plenty sunlight, you can grow vegetables, flowers, herbs, succulents, almost anything, just about anywhere. So I think the basic thing, and with the spring around the corner, I think it's a really good time to to get started to try out your green thumb. So first of all, I think the process is that most important you should identify the space. कि आपको कहाँ gardening करना है, figure out that space in your house. You might have it could be a balcony space, it could be your patio, it could be your terrace, or it could be your most of the apartments now come with utility space. In some places it is open, some places it is partially closed. If you have a utility space, you might be having a big window and probably a nice window sill where you get good amount of sunlight. So don't constrict yourself because of the space. Don't think that, oh, I probably, there are some houses which you might not even have a balcony or might be very, very small. So you can always find out spaces like that, probably a study table which is near the window. You can start over there. So one is that you identify the space where you want to grow. Secondly, determine the sun exposure, which is very, very important. So one very important thing is that there is no such thing as indoor plants, outdoor plants. So plants are all about the balance between sunlight and water. So, for example, let's say you might, as I just said, that probably you might have a windowsill where it gets, direct sunlight in the morning for 2 to 3 hours. I think that would be a good place to start. For example, you might have a balcony, but you're not getting sunlight at all in that balcony, or maybe there are only particular corners which get sunlight some part of the day. So, for example, my balcony here, this is a west facing balcony. So here till in the morning, I mean, till afternoon there is no sun. It's only till from 2 o'clock onwards that we start getting the sunlight till the till the sunset. So very important to determine what place you want to do and what place you want to keep the what sunlight and all, what is the sunlight exposure your place gets. So that is one thing. Once you have figured out, or once you have locked the space where you want to grow, the second step will be to identify the kind of plants that you would want to grow. So my suggestion will be start small and start slow. Why? Because most of the time when we are first time gardeners and you're aiming for plants like let's say cabbage or cauliflower. So what happens is that we might eventually, it takes a lot of time, and eventually you might lose your interest, or somewhere you might burn out because of whole taking care of the plant, and you might not enjoy the process. So best is to start small. You can start with, I'll tell you some of the easy vegetables for for a beginners, which you can start. Basically the whole experience of yours should be enriching. You should feel the happiness, the excitement, and the fulfillment once you have grown. So if you aim for like plants like these, like just I said, like broccolis or maybe cauliflowers, it might take a time and you might lose interest in the process. So we'll start small and we'll start very, very slow. This is I'm talking about in terms of vegetables. In case you're interested in vegetables, later we'll move on to, let's say, ornamental plants, succulents, on all those things.
Nibedita, as you said that you should start small in the first. So, what was your first plant when you start gardening?
So as you just saw, you were telling about your friends. It brought me like fresh memories. My first plant was also money plant. I
Oh,
think this is most of the beginners plant. So money plant was just easy. So I saw a lot of propagation videos. I thought, okay, let me just put it in water and see. And I was really amazed at how beautifully it thrived in water. I mean, so what happens is that if you want to put it in soil and you want to put it in indoors, sometimes it becomes dirty, it becomes messy. So I wanted to put it on my study table. So what I did was I had a nice mason jar. I put some water, and I put the money plant cuttings and all, and it grew so beautifully. And
oh,
it's a
nice.
very hassle-free plant. So yes, for me also, it was my first plant, which really then I thought, okay, now I can do.
Yeah, it is a hassle-free
Yes.
plant. Plus, it has a superstition that it brings money, so it is a
Yeah.
win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation. Yes, correct, correct. So my plant was also money plant, and then eventually I started doing my repotting. So once it got the roots and all, I thought, okay, let's maybe like shift it to soil and plant, and let's see how it does, how it grows. So it did quite well, and it gave me a lot of confidence that, okay, I mean, I am not that bad. I can probably do it.
Yeah,
So that
nice.
was one. So yeah, okay, coming back to the section. So okay, now that you have decided, like what place you want to grow, and if you want to let's say you want to start with a vegetable garden, or small kitchen garden. Now you have the space, what kind of sunlight it gets. Uh, Everything is decided. So now you should, let's start with the planning and the material. So I'll just show you some of the plants, some of the vegetables which are really easy, and you can grow it in 30 days. So here are some of my favorites. I'll just show you. So one is the dhania. So these corianders are like easy peasy to grow. You can grow corianders. Then there is my ever favorite mint, because sometimes I put my mint in water also, and it grows beautifully. In fact, for mint, what I do is I don't even put it in. I never put it in soil directly. Always buy like these mints which you get from markets. Just find out some of the nodes, remove the bottom leaves from here, and put it in a glass of water. In 3 4 days, eventually you will see new roots coming up. The old leaves will die and new leaves sprouting up. So this entire process happens within 7 to 10 days. So once you have a nice, the mint stems with roots and all, you can plant it directly into the soil. It put it in the shade initially, and eventually, I mean, and they are quite invasive. I mean, it will cover your entire pot and all. So one is that. Then next is your methi. Your methi will do really good. I mean, and you don't need any seeds. You don't have to buy anywhere. I mean, you can just go to your kitchen. You can find the dhania seeds, methi seeds, and you can just start immediately. Another one, my favorite, is lettuce. It's also very easy to grow. You just, but these seeds probably not find in kitchen. You'll have to order some. You have to place the order for lettuce seeds and all, and you'll find it a lot of places. So once you order for the lettuce seeds, I mean, these lettuce, and then you also have like mustard greens. So all these vegetables, so it takes merely 30 days. So you start sowing the seeds very easy, and within 30 days, I mean, you'll have your your vegetable garden. You don't need very big pots or containers for it. You can start by doing it in a 6 by 6 pot or a very small container which you have, because their roots are shallow. They don't need like deep big containers. So that you can do. I've also liked to show my basil plant. So this is a lovely. This is not your Italian basil. This is lemon basil, which is quite prevalent in the northeast. It's basically to garnish foods and all, and the smell from the leaves, it's beautiful. It's lovely. So these are the seeds. So basically, it's gone into bolting. So basically, I am letting it dry. So once the seeds are, these are the seeds. Once it becomes completely dry, we cut this up and we save the seeds. So after saving it, then again, I'll plant my next session. So if you don't want to, let's say, you don't want it to seed so early, because once a seed comes, the plant will not grow further. So, at early stages, probably when at this stage, you can just cut here and the plant will keep growing. But eventually, so what I do is, like, we have multiple plants for basil, and one of the basil pots somewhere we allow the seeds to, grow, because we again need it for I need it for the next session, or probably the next season. So these are some of the plants. And last but not the least is microgreens. I am quite a microgreen fan. This is not exactly, so once these vegetables and all are over. Sorry, I forgot to tell you one important thing. Now that you have the seeds ready, you know which vegetables to grow in 30 days. So how to grow? Because as a as a newbie, or probably someone who's trying to just grow, you'll always like figure out that which soil, and there are a lot of things now that you have to mix, like cocoa peat, perlite. So what is the exact soil mix and what ratio to do it? So I would suggest, again, I mean, I always stick to the basics. So if you're a beginner, in fact, till date now I also do the same thing. Always get a nice potting mix. So you will get it at the stores, and but you can get it at most of the nurseries also. They'll always have the potting mix ready. So in that potting mix, you do not have to worry about anything. They have already, whatever the components that a nice soil needs. It has everything. A garden soil, let's say some amount of perlite, some cocoa peat. So it will have everything. Some compost is also there. So it will have all the mixture ready. So I suggest that you start with a potting mix. That's very, very helpful. And then get a good compost. These are the only two things which is required to grow. No need to get those extra supplements, like those bone meal, calcium. No, at least for these vegetables, these 10 vegetables which I told you, like the mints and dhanias, you do not have to take that extra effort. Simply just get the potting mix, mix it with some good amount of compost. Start sowing your seeds, and you will see the results in 1 month. And I'll tell you that you'll be surprised and you'll be amazed with what you have achieved.
Nibedita, so I had a question that there might be some misconceptions about, like as you said, for growing a terrace garden or a garden in a small space, you just need two things. But are there any misconceptions you have come across that which are not needed for gardening, like in the
Um,
on the basis of soil or on the basis of plant?
yeah. So you will come across a lot of information over net where people are actually getting pH meters. They are putting pH. They are measuring the acidic content. Is my soil acidic? Does it have enough of calcium? So all those things will be there. And if you go back, and when I tell my grandparents about it, my gardening, and then say, so they are even, they feel that, that old, the way old traditional, that, you need gobar as a khat,
Yeah.
the best fertile khat to be there. But you can't really, in a city life, it's impossible to get access to those things, getting a fresh gobar and all that. Not really. And you don't even have to measure, get into such details that, okay, what is the pH content of my soil, is it acidic or not. I'm telling you, because we are not doing it on a large scale. It's on a large scale business. You are doing it probably just to, just for yourself, for your family. I mean, the space, we don't have that kind of space also. So
Hmm.
you don't have to make things very complicated. Simply just get a potting mix and get a good compost, and it will do. And trust me, it has worked. I only work with these two. Yes, I mean, for in case you want to grow some other sort of plants, for example, let's say I'm talking about a flowering plant. Let's say it's a bougainvillea, then I
Okay.
know, okay, in that case it needs, in flowering plant they need magnesium and all. Then I will look for, NPK fertilizers and all that. But otherwise, for
Hmm.
normal these vegetables and all, and most of the plants, I mean, it will do. Or maybe, once or twice in a month you can use those seaweed, those liquid extracts comes, liquid fertilizers, you can use it to boost the growth. Otherwise, honestly, I don't use too much of things like, people generally use like neem khali and all those things to get rid of the insects and all. But I would say that I have been doing well with my compost and potting soil mix. It's worked for me. And in between, I just, within 2 months or sometime, I just give some this seaweed fertilizer to all my plants to, to for their growth during the spring season and all when it comes. And compost, it's important to, put the compost in every 2 months. So please do that. Don't think that you put once and forget it. So just keep putting compost, because you have to replenish it. So yeah, that's about it for me. I mean, I keep it really simple, and
Yeah.
fortunately, it works for me.
Yeah, I guess it should be simple because it's about making a comfort space for yourself.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, that's why I asked that. Are there, because I have seen people tend to complicate things, but it gets complicated once you are at a larger scale. But
yes.
for your home, for your terrace, it's okay to just have a normal potting mix.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
So, apart from this, I think one very important thing which you can grow is microgreens. I mean, I'm a huge, huge fan of microgreens. So, let me tell you what microgreen is like quickly. So, when you grow the seeds, basically when the seeds sprout and the first two leaves come out, so that's what a microgreen is. So basically at that time, many so there's a lot of myths that it's not good if you don't do it in soil. I grow microgreens all the time, and I grow it in tissues, I grow it in cotton, in cocoa peat, in coir, because it can be really messy. You don't really need soil, because the seed at that time is not dependent on the nutrients of the soil. The entire energy which is stored inside the seed, it gives, it sprouts, and the first two leaves appear, and that is the time when we harvest it, because that is the pure form of, all the, you get your vitamins, all the antioxidants and all that, really really good for health. So sorry, it's not sprouted much, so I'm trying growing this amaranth microgreens currently. And you can do it a lot of, you can do it with your mustard seeds, you can do it with your methi seeds. You can just take the seeds, soak it overnight. Like any seeds, I usually soak it for 7 to 8 hours. Even for vegetables also, it's because it increases the germination rate. So even if, let's say, you're trying to not growing microgreens, but let's say normal vegetables, if you're trying to grow like, your methi and dhania and all, soak the seeds for 7 to 8 hours, and then you sow it in soil. Here what I do is I usually soak it for 7 to 8 hours, and then I put it on the medium. Now, as I said, the medium could be anything. It could be a tissue paper on a just on a normal surface. It could be tissue. It could be your cotton. It could be your coir mats. It could be cocoa peat. It could be soil. Any medium you can put, and you can just lay down. See, but you have to put it. You have to pack it together in microgreens, and then just cover it, and put water and cover it, because the moisture should be there. After 2 3 days, when you see that it started sprouting up, then you can probably open it. You can uncover the lid, and keep giving water. And within, I think, between 5 to 6 days, it's all ready to harvest. And then you can add it in your, like, sandwiches, your burgers, probably your pasta, and for garnishing and all. In restaurants and all, it is actually quite expensive, But even if you buy from Big Basket and all, also you get these microgreen boxes, which are again quite expensive. So you can actually, it's so simple that you can grow it at your home. You don't need to buy from market, and it's very healthy. Like grow it in, like 4 to 5 days, and it's ready to eat. So you don't even have to wait for 30 days. Like 5 days, and it's ready to harvest.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so that's about like the vegetable part. Again, what apart from this, gardening. I mean, you can also have. I mean, if you're interested in succulents, like I am a big fan of succulents. So this is my entire succulent station. So what I've done is that I have put a very sleek stand here, so as to because I don't want my garden to be overly. Now again, it depends like what you want to do with your space. There are some gardeners, where they are okay to fill the entire garden space with lots of pots, containers, and start gardening. And but I want a little open space as well where I can come out and sit. So I don't want it to be completely packed. So again, it depends like how you want to set it up. So what I did was, I this is a very sleek stand which I got from IKEA. So here I have entirely put my succulents and all. I'll show you in some time. So this entire station is just for my succulents. So this is for the succulents. And again, what I'll do one thing, Satyam, I'll just quickly show that some of the plant
Yeah,
really
yeah,
happy.
sure, man. We would love to see it because
Yeah.
I mean I forgot to mention it earlier, but it looks like a really cozy space. It
Thank you
looks
so
like really cozy space.
much. Okay. So this is my. I'll show it from distance first. So this is my succulent station.
Hmm.
So here, these are my burrows tail. All these are, and in the second one, here again you can see this is Seneca bush. I mean, they have all been luckily doing very well. This is a form of, it's a jade plant. I'll just show you from the sides. Also a bit. So here it is. So yeah, so
Oh,
just to maximize the space, wherever I've found a place. So here also I'm growing a jade. These are actually quite, they propagate very very quickly. So I've used these stands. Just a minute. So
hmm.
here also, if you see, uh, I've put a a plant hanger where I have my geraniums growing currently. So there are some new buds which has come up, so it's gonna flower soon. And I thought I'll just utilize the space, and I put some more hanging burrows tails. So here also on the balcony I have put a balcony container, a small
Okay.
one, and inside I have put two plants. Again, this is Calanco, and here is my jade plant. 1 minute, let me just give you a look down. Now, just to maintain this, for the balcony to be clean, I've used some, railers, some plant stands here, and you can see aloe vera. You can see my ZZs. This is philodendron, burl mats. This also does quite good indoor as well.
Hmm.
So on the other side, again, yeah. So here also, this is I don't know. This is my bleeding heart vine. Okay.
Oh,
So
nice.
also what I've done is, because generally sometimes you also get a single railing, what do I say, planter, where you can put a single pot. But since I'm not sure, and I've also want to I hold a lot of plants. So what I've done is I put this huge, little, big balcony railer. So it's not just one plant. You can put as many pots that can fit inside. So like anthuriums, my spider plants. So this is it. Okay, and this is the yellow alamander vine. Now with spring coming up, it's growing really fast, and we have some new buds and all. Oh yeah, I myself seen just now. It's already started giving good
Oh,
colors.
nice, nice.
And this is my age-old cactus. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's grown like really big. At one point, I was so bored, I thought I'll throw it out. But then I thought, okay, let me retain it. But then it looks nice. It's grown really really big. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
and yeah, the bougainvillea and all. So yes, that's about it.
Got it, got it. So I think, uh, yeah. So guys, as Nibedita settles, please go follow her. Her social account handles are in the description, and do subscribe us. So I just saw that you have cactus, and many urban living settings have cactus. So is it a growing trend, or is it that cactus is a kind of low maintenance? That's why people incorporate it in their lifestyle.
So yes, I think one reason this is a very regular cactus, but nowadays you find a very different variety of cactus,
Yeah.
and always they are even selling those grafted cactus where the stem will be green and on that you'll have a red top or a yellow top. So cactuses, one thing is they are very easy to maintain. Like amongst all those succulents, cactus, these are all like desert plants, so they anyway store water in the leaves. But sometimes watering can be very tricky with the succulents.
Okay.
That way cactus is very low maintenance, it looks good. So in fact in my bathrooms most of the time you'll either find a ZZ or you'll either find a cactus. I've tried with a lot of plants, but ultimately like ZZ works all the time and cactus also works all the time. So
Hmm.
they can even tolerate like low sunlight and all. So that way, yeah, cactus is a good, you can say it's a good addition to your plants.
Okay, got it, got it. So thank you, Nivedita, for such a lovely session. And me coming from a non-gardening background, I have started to gain a little bit interest because of you. And I think our viewers have also gained an interest in the gardening because you made it sound so easy and accessible that it can make your mundane lives a little bit more cheerful in this busy and city life, because through you I saw that there is something positive when you go home. You have something to look forward to when you are at home.
True.
So yeah, thank you for giving us such beautiful insights. And with that, we come to an end to our workshop. Thank you, Nivedita, once again. Please guys follow her for more such beautiful insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Satyam. I had a wonderful time too. Just one last message that
Yeah.
just because you have a small space, so don't think that you cannot make something green and colorful out of it. So just take this as an opportunity and explore. And as I said, that since spring is already here, just go out and try because unless you try, you will never get to know. That's all. I had a wonderful session. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed too.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nivedita. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.